Hi there. This is ArchiusDev. Archius? Honestly, I've been using that name for a while now, but really I have no idea. I think I made it from the word archer, and then I wanted it to sound good for like an MMO or something. So as you can tell from the title, this part of the title, I hope to be a developer. Now, I want to say right from the get-go now, this is not a course channel, and hopefully it never becomes one, but I very much intend for it to be a devlog channel. So if you love games, if you want to see someone struggle and make mistakes and hopefully produce something right here on YouTube, hopefully produce some things that are fun, welcome. You are in the right place, I hope, or you're on your way to finding it. Well, what can you expect? Well, you can expect, project, get my zoom in right here, there we go. You can probably expect project progress if, there's a project that I'm kind of working on. I'm currently working on a project, and I am really excited to show you guys what's kind of going on. So yeah, you can expect project progress, you can expect, lessons learned, game jams, maybe, or at least something you can play on itch, maybe Steam. We'll see how that kind of goes, and anything else involved in the process of game development. As you can imagine, it's if you're a solo indie dev, you are doing not just one job, you are doing the job of a mini dev studio. So we're gonna see how that goes for me. Speaking of me, I've worked as an analyst. I worked as an analyst for the government. That is not me. By the way, that is definitely not me. But I worked as an analyst for the government for probably the last 6 years or so, give or take, after quite a bit of schooling. And so, yeah, your boy is financially, what's the word I'm looking for here? Your boy he has knowledge of finances, and so we're not under crippling debt, but we're getting through things well. However, I am and was still a student with student debt, and so I had to put the schooling to work, schooling to use. However, something that I had on my mind is being a game developer. Why be a game developer after such, as a government worker, being in such a fulfilling and thrilling work environment with, tons of freedom and creativity? Why would someone consider doing anything else? It's a really good question. Who knows? But honestly, we had to rewind back a bit to all the way back when I was in grade 2 or something like that. And we're gonna go with 2 because I don't remember exactly when it was. And this will be me. And on the right here, this is my friend. We're gonna call her Sarah. There we go. And from a young age, nowadays, I think all the kids want to be YouTubers. But back then, I'm sure at some point we wanted to be game makers. I guess actually with this, we're taking a stab at both. But anyways, yeah. So this could be Sarah, me and Sarah. Oh, here's me. Me and Sarah, for our matter discussion, wanted to make games, and I think at the time it was about students revolting or something like that. I can't remember, but in our innocence, we just wanted to make something that we thought would be fun to play or do and experience. Now, throughout the years, I've always enjoyed games. I've enjoyed, classics like Pokemon Yellow, right? On the Game Boy, probably borrowed. Things like Kingdom Hearts 2, Rayman, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, not the remake, the original one. The original one. That I was way too young to be playing that. That was pretty scary. But it was a good game. And Final Fantasy X. And so on and so forth. Tons of great games that taught me a lot, and really made me just enjoy the hobby of gaming and also the passion that goes behind creating a game. And so later on in life, I was trying to do game development as a hobby. Yeah, can you believe it? So me and two of my friends, we wanted to make our own RPG, probably using it with RPG Maker or something of that sort. And I wanted, at least because I thoroughly enjoyed it, I wanted to incorporate elements from Final Fantasy 13. I think it was definitely not the time mechanic from Final Fantasy 13-3, but I think it had to do with like the skill tree and things of that nature. I found it incredibly fun and interesting, and I know that saying that I like this trilogy means I'm gonna lose the subscribers I don't even have and probably go into the negatives, but that's okay. However, I ended up stopping, not just because we were pursuing our careers, becoming analysts and engineers and things of that nature, but for me, I thought I went against my faith as a born again believer, a follower of Jesus. Thankfully, since then, I've matured and have learned that there's tons we're free to do and can enjoy with thanksgiving and openness to even lay it down if that's the direction that God leads us in or leads me in. And that I could just be instead intentional, not just what I produce, but also with what I consume. And so it goes hand in hand. Now, I've always had game ideas in my mind, and really I've kind of buried it down a little bit, like the actual act of trying to create games. So I've I do not know why I found this photo. I was not down bad like this, but I did have that desire, which is if you didn't have to worry about bills or whatever the case was, if there was something you really wanted to do, like a passion hobby, what would it be? Other than probably cooking, this came to my mind. And yeah, I cook all the time. And so yeah, I buried it down due to opportunity and costs and busyness and all the excuses that we have, until one day I was thinking about it some more and looking at videos and DevLogs and all these sorts of things. I'm always in the indie game scene, and I showed my wife this Rock Crusher game, literally called Rock Crusher, I believe. Phenomenal game, by the way. I haven't played it myself, but I've seen gameplay and I've seen design, and yeah, kudos to this dev. So I showed her this Rock Crusher incremental game and showed her how well it performed, or at least estimates of it, and she was all the more supportive. So there's more I'll share in following videos about how I kind of came to this point and ideas and things of that nature. But ideally, I'm just gonna pursue it. I'm gonna go for it. And I'm just gonna do it with grace and with joy. And if it lands, it lands. That would be the dream and an ideal. That would be really, really good if it lands. It would mean a lot for me if you followed along with me for the journey. And if I go through with it and it doesn't really work, well then I can at least say I tried, right? So whether I end up doing this as a career or I end up laying it down, I will be thankful. So what does that mean? Well, yeah, we're gonna continue on doing game development. I made a Discord. You can join it if you want to message me or see what I'm working on or wherever the case is. You can come hang out. There's like 2 other people in it, 2 of my friends, and I don't even know if they both know that I repurposed it for this. Oops. But feel free to come on by and say hello and see what I have going on in development. If it fits for you, if it fits, and if not, then it's A-okay. So without further ado, thank you so much for your time, for stopping by. Grace and peace.